And you're good to go.
Good morning. Welcome to Mullin It Over here on Heart of Ohio Sports. Nate Mullins and Joey Krajewski joining you live in studio. Yes, that's right. We are live in Studio Squared. And I'm telling you, folks, it's getting a little comfier in here. The more we go, the more we get acclimated to this space. We got the internet now. We got everything hooked up. We're ready to go. Now it's just about making the space just a little bit more...
Putting the final touches on.
Yeah, putting that final touches on it. That's really going to help make it more of like a homey kind of environment. We're trying to go for a man cave environment.
I'll say when we have less work to do, we can start having the fun of decorating and things like that.
For real, honestly. Like right now, we're so busy. It seems like every single day for the last 3 weeks, we've had something going on. So it's been really hard for us to kind of settle in here, but...
Yeah, it's crazy.
I honestly feel like it's getting more and more comfortable as we go along. Am I right, Greg? I mean, you got a nice space set up over there. You got a nice little setup going on.
Oh, yeah. I'm just waiting for my wheelie chair so I can spin around in circles here.
We'll get it. We're getting there. It's definitely, I mean, we have a chair. It's just,
we just got to bring it over.
And I'm not bringing that thing down 3 flights of stairs without some help. So.
Heck no.
All right, once again, mulling it over today. This is Monday, May 30th, and today is Memorial Day. So I want to take a moment to just recognize all veterans and everyone that's sacrificed their time to allow us to have the freedoms that we enjoy on a daily basis. Thank you to everyone that has allowed us to have these freedoms by giving their service. And thank you to give a moment of respect and honor to those that have passed on. I mean, that's what it's about. This is Memorial Day. So there's a lot of things going on in the community. We'll get to that in just a moment. But before we get to what's going on in the community, let's talk about the weather. Right now in Tiffin and Seneca County, it's 74 degrees. It's going to be mostly sunny today. And I'm telling you what, folks, if you like hot weather, if you're a summer person and you like those high 80s, low 90s days, well, today is the day for you. Trust me. 89 degrees is your high for today.
Jeez.
Wow.
They made the weather just perfect for cookouts and stuff today, man. I tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, folks,
get out to the
last
lake.
Few years for Memorial Day haven't exactly been the greatest for like cookouts and having gatherings. This is definitely one of those days where you want to be outside, you want to be doing something fun. Get out there and enjoy it with the family. But there's a lot of cool things going on in the community. Now, if you're watching this video, you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, whatever you're watching on. Are you subscribed? Are you following us? Because if you're not, you should be, because you're helping us out by following our Facebook page, and you're really helping us out if you're subscribed on YouTube. That's right. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not subscribed, you're not doing us any favors. So please help us out. Subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, make sure you give it a share. Share the video. It really helps us extend our reach. All right, so Joey, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the community. First, let's take a look at the advertiser because, we had a busy weekend.
A lot going on.
Us at Heart of Ohio Sports had a lot of things going on, and you had a busy weekend as well. I mean, a wedding.
Yeah.
Lots of different things going on for everybody. I mean, this is that time of the year where there's weddings, there's graduation parties. It seems like every weekend there's something planned.
It's nuts. I think I listed it off to my friends, a couple of my friends, my parents. Every Saturday for this summer, I have something going on.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a free Saturday this summer. And on top of that, I got football 4 days a week. I'm doing this. It's crazy. I'm busier in the summer than even in the middle of football season. It's craziness.
And I think that's Ohio. When you talk about Ohio, we can't plan anything for 6 months out of the year.
No.
Between November and like April,
yeah.
It's nonsense to try to plan anything, especially outdoors related.
It's a toss-up.
Exactly.
It could be rainy in December and snowing in April. So you just never know. You can't plan anything, and everything just gets shoved almost into like 3 months, it feels like. It's just
for real
craziness.
Everybody's wedding, their anniversaries are all within that same 3 month window.
Yep.
You're from Ohio when your anniversary is between between July and September.
It's craziness.
So anyways, let's get to it. Let's talk about the things that were going on in the community this past weekend, as it is now Monday. We were pretty busy this weekend with Heart of Ohio Sports as we were on the road for, 3 baseball games we covered this past weekend, right, Greg? 2, 3? I don't know. I've lost count.
If you're including the whole week, we had a doubleheader earlier in the week.
That's
and
right.
then a game Saturday. They got postponed until Saturday, And then a game yesterday, Sunday, which had been all confused because Felt like it was a Saturday. It was weird playing baseball on a Sunday for high school.
It really was.
Yeah.
So we had 4 baseball games this past week and 2 over the weekend. Let's talk about those a little bit. Joey, you weren't able to make it because you had a lot of stuff going on. You had your wedding going on. But on Saturday, probably one of the most exciting baseball games I've ever been a part of.
That was, and the thing that made it best, I know I wasn't there, but watching the call on it was freaking awesome. Your excitement through it was those last 3 outs Calvert had was electric. That was freaking awesome.
I love it.
I was like trying to get dressed, trying to get ready to go. My girlfriend yelling at me. I'm like, hold on, they are bases loaded right now. Just hold on. They only need like 1 run. Just hold on. And it was just, she's yelling at me. I'm kind of like half avoiding that, just trying to like go to the next room, act like I'm getting ready, but watching the stream. But that game was freaking electric, and the call was awesome.
Well, I appreciate that big time. We had a couple other fans on Facebook that were like, wow, the energy, you can feel the passion in this one right now. And honestly, it's been a downfall sometimes for me because sometimes, we'll be on the road and a game will start to get exciting. And, I get a little excited with the game. And I've had, my fair share of press box people turn around and give me the look or, like the one in Norwalk turned around and tells me, we're trying to broadcast the game here. I said, yeah, me too.
Right?
Like, I get it, but, I was really excited during that game. And honestly, they gave me a lot of reasons to be excited.
Oh, it was crazy.
What a game.
Crazy.
I mean, they start out with a 2-0 lead, and then St. Paul comes back and scores 5 unanswered runs going into the 7th.
Yeah.
And we're thinking, man, it's going to be tough for them to come back. And you say, bases loaded. They only need one run. You should hear what Greggy said that those teammates were saying as they were coming into the dugout.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean,
it's only 3 runs. It's only 3 runs, guys. Come on, let's go. It's only 3 runs.
Yeah, the mentality that they carried into the dugout there, it speaks volumes to how that game ended. They knew they weren't out of it. They might have been the only ones that knew for sure they weren't out of it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of those kids. My brother's a senior on those teams, so I've seen those kids grow up, and I knew those 3 runs weren't anything. Like they were going to give that them all, and I can probably name the 2 or 3 that were probably like really had the juice. But I mean, that game was all heart and grit out of Calvert, and I'm so happy for them, especially my brother who's on the team and all those seniors who are done and graduated already, who are still fighting. Just they don't want to be done yet. They're still fighting every single game just to keep the streak going.
That's huge.
Awesome.
So a big 6-5 victory over Norwalk St. Paul in the district final for Tiffin Calvert. They move on to the regional semifinals where they will face Bristol, correct?
Yep.
Bristolville, Bristol. That is the regional semis to be played at Gilmore Academy, just outside of Akron. That is a Thursday game. It's a 2:00 first pitch on Thursday. So a lot of people probably going to have travel arrangements and problems trying to get to that game. Stay tuned. We might have surprise coming later in the week as far as what game we'll be at. But you'll have to stay tuned. Mulling it over every day this week. Monday through Friday, 8:30. Well, we'll try to get on at 8:30.
Yeah.
This morning we had some issues with our stream. We were trying to figure out what was going on, but we got it figured out and we're on. But every Monday through Friday now, mulling it over. Make sure you tune in this week as we figure out who we're going to cover because Thursday, well, now we know there's going to be 2 games at the same exact time.
Got the other game to talk about.
In completely different places. Let's talk about that other game. So yesterday, we took a trip to Bluffton. Bluffton University Memorial Field, a gorgeous facility.
That looks so nice on the stream.
I mean, and the opening montage that Greg put together.
That was awesome.
That was just so cool.
Awesome.
And, I mean, the one thing that impressed me, Greg did that in like 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
Legit. He showed up. He disappeared for about 5 minutes. And then he comes back over and he says, hey, I need to put something on real quick. I emailed this thing to myself. I got to throw this up on there. Oh, okay. Next thing you know, he's like, hey, come here. I want you to show me. I want you to see how this is going to work so we know, how this is. Because we go through the scenes and, we have transitions that we talk about and how this is going to play out so that, we make sure we present the product the way we want it to. Greg just showed me how it was going to play out. And I'm like, wow, you did that in that amount of time?
That's nuts.
I mean, he's a magician sometimes, folks.
I tell you, though, man, that place, they did a really, really good job of commemorating and stuff, those the lost souls from that baseball team. I really like that art installation there in the middle, touching home with the home plate and stuff. Like, it's just, I tell you, if you get the chance, go over there and check it out for yourself, because it's a beautiful facility and just a beautiful remembrance over there.
Yeah, and it really was. The facility itself, the baseball field, is probably one of the most gorgeous and intimate settings that I've seen for baseball in this area. But the campus itself, is awesome. As we're driving into Bluffton University, I'm like, wow, this is just, I mean, it feels like Heidelberg almost, but a little bit more of a, I don't know, a colonial feel, I guess.
Yeah.
It's more,
it's almost
struggle
like,
to find the words, but
yeah, it's almost like you're driving into another town or something. Like they have their own community.
It feels like a small little rural town that you're driving into from Bluffton. You know, you're in Bluffton already, and then you drive into Bluffton University, which is this nice little quaint community of college students,
it's kind of it's more secluded, whereas like Heidelberg and Tiffin University here are kind of like intermixed throughout the city, whereas Bluffton University is kind of like its own separate thing inside of Bluffton, which is really cool.
I think that's honestly what Tiffin University is trying to create.
I think because you can kind of see them starting to set up that, which it's a process. Bluffton's been around for a long time, whereas Tiffin University, it's been around for a long time, but this process of kind of making it more of a campus feel they're really starting to pick that up.
Yeah, I think the key to that is, I know that a lot of people don't want to hear this, but if they can get rid of Miami Street, that little section right there, and make that just campus and not allow people to drive through that area, that would be huge.
Yeah, which, I mean,
there's a way to do that. It sucks for motorists, and I get it. Semis are going to have a hard time and all that stuff, but the fact that, honestly, every single day you can see a missed opportunity. I mean, there's so many kids crossing those streets.
Yeah, it's nuts.
And people just don't care when they're driving through that area.
No, super dangerous.
You'll hear people just complain about these students not caring, but that's their campus. They're just walking from class to class.
Exactly.
They shouldn't have to be impeded by traffic. They should be able to get from class to class without having to stop and wait. Because, I mean, you sit there and you stop and wait for cars, you're going to be late for class.
Exactly.
So I get the argument, but, I just love that campus with Bluffton. I thought that was a beautiful campus. I thought they did a great job with the facility. And there was a baseball game, too.
Yeah.
And the Tornadoes took care of business from start to finish in that.
Dominant.
I mean, Carson Malott started out. He allowed 2 base runners in the first 3 batters in that game. And I was kind of like, okay, all right. Nobody's really got to him yet this year. 0.31 ERA, District 9 Player of the Year. Yep. Nobody's really roughed him up yet. And he settled in, and then he just cruised through that game.
Throwing through like 56 pitches or something like that. Just
5 innings,
dominant.
6 strikeouts, 3 hits, no earned runs.
That's nuts.
And no walks either. He didn't walk a batter.
Yeah.
That's unreal.
That might be the most important thing, is no walks. Because the strikeouts and stuff like that, you can get a couple kids, stuff like that. But when you're not walking kids, that shows your accuracy and your command of the baseball. Yeah. That says a lot.
Well, and his command all year has been just on point. Yeah. He's very low in his walk numbers. He's only hit 1 batter all year, which makes me think maybe he just didn't like the kid.
Yeah, right. Might be gunning for someone.
I mean, but no, he knows where he's going to go with the ball, and he does a great job with it. And I thought that was a dominant performance by him. There was a couple other Tornadoes that had great performances yesterday, too. One guy, Preston Keckler, really stood out to me. It was hard not to give the award to Preston yesterday, honestly, because he went 3 for 3. He had 4 RBIs in the game. But to me, that 12-0, a lot of guys contributed to the 12.
Yeah.
The 0 is what really stood out to me because, I mean, Malott just absolutely was dominant.
It was insane. It's crazy to watch sometimes when you see a high school kid just look like a man amongst boys almost. You can tell that kid's ready for college baseball, and Matt Palm's getting a great kid. Oh, yeah. And what's crazy is, he doesn't just have a great fastball and a great curve, but he's got an arsenal of pitches. Yeah. He's got multiple. I mean, there was times yesterday where I'm like, was that a slider? Was that a changeup? Yeah. Yeah, he's probably got 4 or 5 pitches in his bag that he can really command and throw at you. I mean, he's a hell of an athlete, and I mean, like you said, Matt Palm, he's going to be spoiled over there. Oh my gosh, so crazy! Big win for Tiffin Columbian. They move on. Regional semis now for the 2nd straight year for both schools. That's awesome. That's huge. Awesome for Tiffin.
So you got both schools in the regionals, and Tiffin Columbian plays this Thursday.
Yep.
At 2:00
Yeah.
in Bowling Green, and this is against Defiance, correct?
Defiance. Yep.
Yeah, how do you like that quote from Coach Malat where he said, "This is exactly what we wanted. That's all I can say. We've been looking for Defiance all year. They're ready for this one, guys."
Yep. Defiance, #1 team in the state. So it's a
They had this
big
one
game.
circled and earmarked.
Yep. Big game for Columbia. And I mean, the team that they have, they can really make it. I mean, obviously they're in the regional semis, but you can really make a run to play in that state championship game to give yourself the opportunity to win it. And when you got that type of talent, you let's go play the #1 team.
Yeah.
Get it done, get it out of the way. You don't want to wait till the state championship game, state semifinals. Let's go play. I mean, and that's what you want out of your guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the mentality that they have right now. This is a team that 1 through 9. I really feel
it's loaded.
There's a chance to make an impact at the top and all the way through to the bottom of the order. There's not one guy you can say, all right, I can breathe a little bit with this. No. They're all going to make you work. They all work so hard during at bats. They all, they'll put together a quality at bat and frustrate a pitcher, and then the next guy comes up, does the same thing.
That's so annoying as a pitcher.
Goodness. You draw a 7-pitch walk on a full count, and then the next guy comes up and works the count to a full count again. By the time you're in the third inning, you've got that pitcher up in the 60s in pitch count. You know? That's what they do on a routine basis with this team, and I've seen it all year. And I mean, they're a fun team to watch.
Oh, their bats are lightning. I mean, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. And I really hope, just to see these two schools make a run at this. I mean, I don't want to jinx them here, but what if we have 2 teams from Tiffin playing in Akron on June 11th?
That would be huge.
That would be insane.
Let's go.
Hey,
I'm all for it.
I was going to say, if we can get them both in the same spot, we can cover both of those games.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be crazy.
We'll make it happen
Instead of putting them so far away from each other.
That would be.
Right now, you're talking about these games being an hour and a half apart. So it's going to be hard for us to be at both places.
Yeah. And on opposite sides of the state.
Yeah, and at the same time, it just makes it hard because then we're going to have 2 different places for it to stream to. Well, we can do that. That's not a problem, but it's the guys. It's the manpower. That's where we're having an issue, and some of the equipment issues.
Got to work on cloning ourselves. Let's see if we can do it.
We can do it like we used to do it, and we'll send a guy over there with just a phone and a microphone and tell him to call the game and maybe box cast it like we used to. There's a way to do it, but we have to have manpower. That's the biggest thing. We have to have people to be able to do this game. And right now, it's just not a good time of year for anybody because everybody's got stuff going on.
Yeah.
So moving on, I want to talk about just the front page of the Advertiser. Now, today being Memorial Day, there is no paper today, but they did have a weekend edition over the weekend. And there's one thing that really it caught my eye when I was looking through the paper and trying to find something to talk about. There's a new art space, a new art studio opening up in Fostoria. It's called The Space. It's an inclusive art studio, and it opens today. That's right. An inclusive studio for artists of any background. And my phone's being crazy and going nuts right now. I just want to look at the article. Come on now. It's an inclusive studio for artists of any creative background. It's projected to open today in downtown Fostoria, according to owner Kim Logsden. She's the secretary of the Fostoria Community Arts Council. Logsden said the studio provides a safe space for members of the community to work on their art projects without ever being over-gilded.
Interesting.
That's an interesting word to use there, over-gilded. I want people to be able to come in and explore their ideas. I want people to explore their concepts and then make them happen. I'm really not looking to guide someone in what I want them to create. I want this to be a creative space, not a copy of someone else's. It's pretty cool. It's going to be located at 125 South Main Street. It's on the south side of the second floor in the banquet hall, also known as the Dillinger Building.
Interesting.
So this is something that when I saw this, I was like, oh man, Chelsea would love this. This is really cool. They're a registered 501c3. They are accepting donations of artistic supplies. And she said the studio provides a pleasant environment for artists practicing their work in all mediums, and she looks forward to welcoming those who want to use the creative space. For more information, you can contact Logsden by emailing her at lytenup61@yahoo.com. I'm sure Greggy's got that pulled up over there, so you can check that out. But once again, the space to open up today in Fostoria, a new art studio. I'm all about art. Obviously, we're sharing a space with one of the best artists in this area, my wife. I'll toot her horn as much as I want. So. But no, this is something that I'm very passionate about. Her and I did the Music and Art Festival for 7 years. So anytime there's something art related, I'm going to talk about it. So
Yeah.
But let's talk community calendar. Let's look at the community calendar because today is Memorial Day, and I'm sure there's plenty of stuff going on that you want to know about. Right now, as we were walking across the street, I'm noticing the cops are out and they're trying to find out who's parked on the street because, well, there's been signs on the side of the street since last Thursday. Don't park here between 8 and noon on Monday. Well, there was 3 cars parked out front of my building. The cops are out there trying to find whose cars they are. I'm like, well, I knew better. But it is the Memorial Day Parade. That's right. Tiffin Memorial Day Parade sponsored by, guess who? Your Legacy Federal Credit Union. That's right. One of our proud sponsors here on Heart of Ohio Sports, one of our legacy sponsors. The parade begins at the intersection by St. Joe's Church and ends at Rotary Park on Frost Parkway. And then there will be a Memorial Day ceremony on Frost Parkway following the parade. So they'll have a small ceremony afterwards to commemorate Memorial Day. Make sure you stop down anywhere downtown. Check out the parade. Of course, most of the downtown businesses will be open except for JT's.
Yeah.
Joey was a little upset this morning. He went to JT's looking for a bagel. He said, why are the lights off?
Yeah. I was so upset. I woke up football at 6:30 this morning. Woke up like 5:30. Got the dog around. Didn't eat breakfast, obviously. I was like, okay, I know I have time after football. Before I come here, I can stop and get a bagel. Brain fart. They're closed on Mondays. It's Memorial Day. I'm upset. I'm hungry. It is what it is. We'll get through it, though.
Well, I don't want to speak for them because I don't know whether they're open on Memorial Day, but I do know that Jolly's has changed their hours. They are now open on Mondays. They weren't before, but now they are. And I don't know if you've had one of their donuts. They've partnered with Heidelberg to do their donuts.
Oh.
They have a donut. I don't like giving out free advertising here, folks, but this is one thing I've got to tell people.
Jolly's is a Tiffin staple.
They got a donut. It's a cream stick, and it says Jolly's on it, all right? The cream filling mixed with Jolly's root beer.
What?
In the middle of this donut.
Yeah,
Is that real?
You told me
Cream
about this
filling
before, and I
mixed
still haven't
with
tried
Jolly's
it.
root beer in the middle of a donut.
I'm ashamed of myself that I haven't tried it yet.
My blood pressure just skyrocketed just talking about
Jeez, oh, Pete.
And on
Thought I
that
was
note,
hungry before.
it. I mean, if you're looking for something to do while you're downtown at the parade, stop down and see Dave and, hey, tell him Heart of Ohio Sports sent me in here, and they said that they'd really appreciate some advertising, you know.
And some donuts.
Just throwing out free advertising here.
and on that note, fellas, we'll be right back.
Yes, we'll be right back. We'll go get some donuts. There is one more thing on the community calendar I wanted to talk about. It has to do with Memorial Day. It's the Memorial Day Arts and Crafts Show. Demonstrations, exhibits, and items for sale. There's music, food, and poppies. That's right, poppies in honor of the veterans. I don't know if you knew anything about that, Greg, but this is like an honor. This is like a time-honored tradition with the poppies in honor of the veterans.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's something they've done for a long time. I just now recently found out about it. This is taking place, let's see, 200 St. Francis Avenue in front of the St. Francis Spirituality Center. This is from noon until 3 o'clock. There's music, there's food, there's ice cream creations.
I was going to say, speaking of, Jolly's root beer.
And there's going to be Jolly's root beer. That's right. Jolly's root beer will be there. So check it out. Once again, as part of the community calendar, this is the Memorial Day Arts and Crafts Show at St. Francis. All right, moving on. Let's talk about weird news, Greg. This is my favorite time of the morning. And we've got quite a few little stories here queued up for you. A couple of them that I was like, every time I see these stories, I say, how is this even possible? Like, we degraded that much as a society to get to this point where I don't know. So first of all, we'll go first up. Woman bites her sister's eye off in a drunken fight. First of all, how do you bite an eye? Like, I want to know. You really, you got to get in there.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be more of like you don't have to suck it out rather than bite it out.
Ooh, yeah. Ew, mental. Come on now. Oh, God.
Well, if you think about it, it's like the eye doesn't stick out that much, so you'd almost have to like, I don't know. I mean, unless it's like like the old Kimbo Slice videos where he punched that dude's eye out, then you could bite it. But I feel like it'd have to be more of like a. I feel like you almost have to like, I don't know. You have a really narrow mouth.
It's looking like it says that caused part of her eye to be ripped out, so she must have just got a nice little chunk in her mouth there.
Yeah.
Just a little taste.
Extremely intoxicated because she had 2 bottles of vodka and a can of White Claw.
Oh, 2 bottles of vodka and the White Claw's what did it. I'm telling you.
That's what set her up.
Laws when you're drinking claws.
Well, here's the thing. If you're biting the eye out, you're probably not drinking good vodka. Okay, so it's probably gas station vodka.
That's probably like Kamchatka.
Oh, no, not the gas station
which
vodka.
may then lead to the biting of the eye out. And at that point, the White Claws do some crazy things, but that gas station vodka might have what pushed it over the edge.
I'm telling you, I know people that drink that stuff. I can't even stomach the thought of it. And I mean, I know people that down 2-3 bottles of those a day. I work in a bar, so yes, I know people that just are, they just don't care about themselves. No. That's really what it's about. You just don't care about yourself. But I mean, how does she? My point is, I mean, okay, so she's intoxicated. They're obviously in a fight. They're in a situation, but it says that she grabs her sister's hair, pulled her in, and then bit her left eye, causing part of the eye to be ripped out. And then she took off and hid about a block away in a yard.
I want to know who taught her how to bite. Were you just grabbing girls by the hair and take a bite out of your eye?
I don't get that.
And then does the girl that got her eye bit, is she not like trying to push her off at all? Like, was she on top maybe? Like, was she pinned down on the ground and then grabbed her hair?
Right. How does somebody's mouth get that close to your eye?
I'm still searching for answers here. I'm trying to figure this out.
We gotta get on World Star and find the video.
Yeah, I need a video of this. There was a video of a drunk Amish guy on a horse hitting a cop car. Come on, where's the video for this?
I got excited. I thought maybe there was a video, and then it turns out it's just a file photo of police lights.
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh yeah.
File photo.
According to paramedics, the sister's eye would need to be worked on by a plastic surgeon. Police believe the tear duct was ripped out, but couldn't tell because of the blood.
Ooh.
Come on, man.
I know.
It's just like, could you imagine looking at somebody's face and being like, we're not sure what got ripped out because there's a lot of blood there.
Well, it reminds me of that Kimbo Slice video where that dude's eye was just hanging out.
All-time video.
God, it's so crazy.
Whew.
That's the first thing that came to my head. I mean, if you're gonna bite an eye, I feel like it can't be like in the eye socket. Like, it's got to come out somehow for you to bite it.
Yeah,
man.
But
I just.
All right. Next up, woman tries first proper meal after 23 years of only eating potato chips. How do you eat?
Okay, now I got a question. If you had to eat, let's just go for a week, potato chips only for a week. Do you have a potato chip that you think you could do it with?
Ooh, okay. All right. I like these questions. All right. So,
Munchos. Except for my mouth would be super.
Those are really salty.
Yeah,
you gotta go a week.
I mean, a whole week of eating
but
and you're talking about just chips.
Just chips, just like that lady.
Old ball rates?
Yeah, honestly. Like, I can't dip the chips in anything. I can just eat the chips. That's it.
See, that's the tricky part. Like,
because you're talking.
I'm sure she had to dip. You can't just eat plain potato chips.
I mean,
you have to have dip.
Smith's French onion dip with some ball rights.
That's hard to beat. That's hard to beat.
I'm telling you, that's a good combination. But if you can't have the dip,
it looks like
that's where it gets tricky.
It looks like from the picture here, she ate flavored chips. So you can pick some flavored chips.
Flavored chips.
Okay, if they're flavored, can I have Madison's make me a bunch of dry rub chips?
Sure.
There we go.
Sure, why not?
Done.
That's
I can eat Madison's dry rub chips for a month.
New challenge.
There's my chip. No, we're not doing that. We're not.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Hey, once the YouTube hits 1,000 subscribers, Nate eats only chips for a week.
No.
Yep, it's happening.
We live stream every meal.
You get us to 1,000 subscribers
on the 6th day.
Do you know how horrible you'd feel after like the first day of only eating chips? Oh, that'd be terrible.
Oh was just thinking about Nate walking around and be like, I hate you guys for this. Why did you tell him I would do this?
So, a woman who lived on a diet of cheese and onion flavored potato chip sandwiches. Not just chip sandwiches.
How does that work?
We're not done yet.
Oh my God.
For 23 years, has finally eaten a proper meal after being hypnotized. She had to be hypnotized. So all you picky eaters out there, there's hope for you. You just got to get hypnotized.
That's all it took.
Zoe Sadler, 25, of Coventry, England.
That makes sense. Okay,
England?
it all makes
Okay,
sense
they
now.
got some weird
All makes
eating
sense.
habits over
Oh,
there
we didn't
anyway,
say.
so,
It all makes sense.
I mean, they call cookies biscuits. So,
Wait,
I mean,
Oh,
so
my God.
chips for them, is that French fries for us?
well, they do say potato
Yeah,
chips.
she was
Okay,
actually
never
eating
mind,
chips.
never mind.
Yeah, I know.
So-
I know what you're thinking there.
Now, maybe she calls them crisps, where she's from.
There you go. That makes
But-
sense.
So
God.
she's munched on Walker's potato chips in buttered white bread since she was a toddler. What? She used to down 2 packs of her favorite potato chips every day for more than 2 decades after other foods left her feeling physically sick.
I wonder why.
Wait,
What?
Give me my chips.
everything else is making you sick? Maybe it's the fact that that's the only thing you put in your body that's making you sick.
I blame the parents.
it's
I
like
blame
a-
her parents for
Exactly.
doing that.
Does it become
Oh.
like a drug at that point where you're having withdrawals from the chips, so you start feeling sick? Like,
That's the parents' fault.
My mom and dad say I tried other foods as a toddler, but I always turned my nose up or refused to put them in my mouth.
yeah, that's what kids do.
The only thing my mom could get me to eat were potato chips, which then I used to suck until they were soft. Stop.
This is one of those moments where I hate people. I hate
Man,
people.
okay, now Nate, now you've seen kids and how disgusting they are when they eat things and drink things. Could you imagine a toddler with a mouthful of soggy
Imagine a
potato
full
chips?
grown adult.
I watched a kid one time. I gave out Nutty Buddies as a treat after football practice one time, and I watched a kid eat a Nutty Buddy by sucking all the chocolate off of the Nutty Buddy, and then didn't want the rest, the wafer and the peanut butter part. He didn't want it. He just wanted the chocolate off of the Nutter
the
Buddy.
best part is the wafer and the peanut butter.
I'm like, what is going on?
Oh my goodness.
That's a kid you have to keep your eye on.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you know, she says, I remember being at school when I was little having potato chip sandwiches in my lunchbox. They were the only thing I liked to eat. She says, I usually had a bowl of dry cereal for breakfast and then a potato chip sandwich for lunch and then another one for dinner. Sometimes I'd try other flavored chips because the texture wouldn't bother me. She says, Christmas was always hard for me because I'd never want very much to eat.
Just chips.
And it's like, I don't understand this. She says, after undergoing 2 2-hour hypnotherapy sessions, Sadler has been able to enjoy her first taste of fruits and vegetables alongside other foods. Now, she was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
So that's
and
that's what led her to
actually
get.
encouraged her and motivated her to try to improve her health. She says, I was diagnosed with MS and I just thought I need to get healthier and feel better. I looked around on the internet and read some articles where David, some guy that she's working with, had helped other fussy eaters. So she contacted him. They had 2 2-hour sessions. They felt like they lasted about 5 minutes each. And after the second one, I was able to try loads of different foods. She says, I can't believe how nice strawberries are.
Yeah, welcome to the real world.
Hello? There's so many awesome foods out there that you're missing out on because you want a buttered potato chip sandwich. Like,
Wait
what?
till she dips them in chocolate. Imagine what her world's gonna be like then.
I said,
Jeez, oh, Pete.
I said, Nate, could you picture a toddler with a mouthful of mushy potato chips? But here I see we actually have a picture of her. Oh, it's so funny, man. That's crazy that she's been eating potato chips and just potato chips, and all it took was 2 hypnotherapy sessions or whatever you want to call it. And
That's it.
Now she's like, hey, I can eat regular foods and they don't make me sick anymore.
So there you go. If you're a picky eater, there's hope for you. Look into hypnotherapy.
Spin zone though. You know how cool it would be to be an adult though and try like all the foods for the first time.
That's actually a pretty cool.
Like, can you imagine eating a big cheeseburger for the first time as like an adult?
Man.
Yeah.
And like tasting it and like.
like understanding it.
I mean, I'll be honest, I'm a picky eater, guys, and there's a lot of stuff that I haven't tried in many years, so maybe I'll go get hypnotized and try me some new.
Imagine trying Madison's chunks for the first time as an adult.
Stop. I'm
so hungry right now.
I can still remember trying Madison's for the first time. Like when I started working there, and when I first started working there, they only did dinner on Tuesday nights from 4 to 10. That's it. No other time of the week. No, they didn't have anything other than, and it was limited menu, very limited. It was chicken chunks, chicken wings, and chicken tenders. That's it. You didn't have burgers, wraps, none of that stuff. And then there was fries, mozzarella sticks, mushrooms, and I think that's pretty much about the extent of it. And there was one kind of fry.
So what was the first thing that you ate there, Nate?
The first thing I ate there was Griff chunks. It was,
really?
I wanted to try the mix between the creamy and the hot garlic.
Yeah.
Because I love orange. It's my favorite color. And the orange sauce just kind of like, oh, I want to try that one.
Yeah.
What is that? And then he tells me, and I try it, and it was like magic.
Yep.
I still remember that first bite.
I remember my first order too.
It was like, wow, where has this been my whole life?
Life hasn't been the same since.
It really hasn't, and I've been searching for that same feeling ever since. Like, where else can I? There's been one other similar feeling, and that was biting into a Five Guys burger for the first time.
Five Guys, really?
Five Guys burger. Now, since then, it's gone way downhill. It's not nearly as good as that first
I was
burger.
about to say.
The first one was way up there
Yeah.
on the list for me. Now, everyone since has kind of gone downhill. And it's not really even the burger itself, because I think it's the same burger.
Same thing.
It's just, to me, the first time I tried it, it was like, oh my God, this is so good.
Yeah.
The more I try it, and I try other burgers from different places, I'm like, it's top 5, but it's not.
You ever had
anything
Shake
to write
Shack?
home.
It's top 5 guys.
Shake Shack? No, I have not. I've heard so many good things.
Really?
I want to try Shake Shack. I want to try In-N-Out Burger. I want to try Whataburger. Those are the 3 ones I want to try. But I still think
I've never had In-N-Out, but
if you ask me, the best burger that you can get anywhere, we had it yesterday.
Culver's, man.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Culver's is
so
so slept on. I took my girlfriend there for the first time a couple weeks ago over in Findlay. Oh my! And they got crinkle cut fries, which is the top tier fry.
They have.
My gosh!
They have mashed potatoes and gravy that are just absolutely to die for.
Yes,
It's like your grandma and grandpa's favorite fast food place.
it makes no sense there.
It doesn't. Nothing makes sense.
they have a-
Frozen custard, mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yeah.
I think we had everything off the menu yesterday.
I really do. I think
They
we
have
ordered
cheese
just about
curds.
everything. The cheese curds are phenomenal.
Yeah, it's
Cheese
nuts.
curds,
I got
chicken
pretzel
tenders,
bites. They're these little,
hamburgers.
they look like little Buckeyes.
Yeah.
They're little pretzel bites with cheese and.
It's nuts.
But the burger,
They do the smash burgers too, the thin patties.
they take a dollop of butter and put it right on top of the burger as it's cooking on the grill. I'm telling you, folks, if you
Your
haven't
arteries
had
will hate
yet,
it.
My arteries are clogging just thinking about this.
I'm so hungry right
I
now.
just had one yesterday, and I could literally drive over there and have another one today. That's how good
They're
it was.
delicious.
It was just so good. But yeah, I mean, imagine being able to taste food that you've never tasted for the first time.
Dude, that would be so awesome.
That's kind of cool. I like the way you kind of approach that subject. I like that. That's cool. So there's only a couple more things I wanted to talk about here. Weird news. Another topic I wanted to touch on, and this one was I saw this and I'm like, we're still talking about this? 329 years later, the last Salem witch, who wasn't, is now pardoned. I don't understand. Yeah, shout out to her. I mean,
She's a real one.
Yeah.
it took more than 3 centuries, but they finally did it. They finally pardoned the last Salem witch. I'm sure she's really happy about that.
Yeah, I'm sure she's so happy. And
1693.
how does it take that long?
How does it take that long, and why is it even still being talked about?
That's my point in this whole thing is like, why is this even a story? Why is this relevant? I know it's weird news. We're in a weird news segment. It's only weird because I'm like, why? Why are we even talking? Why was this even done?
It's like, what filing cabinet did you find at the courthouse to pull up that?
I mean, maybe her great granddaughter might care.
That's a good, if Ancestry somehow connected that, kudos to them.
Right.
But 16, bro, people, there's so many other things that people could be doing with their lives than pardoning a Salem witch. I mean, granted.
And here's the thing. They tacked it onto a budget bill. Like, they were like, we got this budget bill. Let's just go ahead and throw that on there too. That's how politics get done in this country, I swear.
God.
And that's
It's like, oh, we got this bill. Let's throw on a couple other things here, and let's
just doesn't
get
even
those
make
through.
sense.
We know this is going to pass, so let's just throw this
let's
stuff
just
on
shove everything into it that we need.
I don't.
But then when people when one of the aisles vetoes it or doesn't votes not in favor of it or whatever, then all the good stuff in that bill are oh, this side voted no for this, and this. It's okay, well, there are also hundreds of other things that we're going to do awful things, but you're just reading the headline.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. We just talk about the hot button topic.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. To me, I'm not really going to read into this case because it's just kind of nonsense to me.
It's funny, though.
I mean, at least they cleared the wrongdoings of the people back then, but now it's okay, you're whatever.
Yeah.
Moving on. To me, that was what are we even doing? Why are we wasting time with this?
It definitely was a headline that grabbed your attention.
Well, this one was the headline that grabbed my attention right away. Right here. This one, folks, I'm telling you. You can't write these headlines. How to Murder Your Husband writer Nancy Crampton Brophy found guilty of what? Murdering her husband. That's right.
Who would have thunk it?
If you're writing stuff like that, the police should see that and have an immediate detail on you.
Man, she is really good. She's got a great
imagination.
imagination.
When OJ wrote that book that was how I would do it if I did it.
It was exactly what happened.
Basically exactly how it went down. This lady just wrote a template for how she wanted to murder her husband. That's all it was.
Life comes full circle real quick to some people.
So she wrote this essay in 2011. It went into great detail about several ways for committing an untraceable killing. Well, evidently she wasn't very good at untraceable part because they found out.
They done traced it.
I feel like I've watched enough Law and Order and NCIS that you don't need to write a story about it. Just watch all the seasons of that, and you can figure out how to get away with just about anything.
Man,
crazy.
That picture of her cracks me up. She just looks like, I can't believe I got caught.
And you want to talk about a cold-blooded killer? Here's this. Prosecutors told jurors that Crampton Brophy was motivated by money problems and a life insurance policy. Quote, she said during the trial that she had no real reason to kill her husband and that their financial problems had mostly been solved due to cashing in a portion of Brophy's retirement savings plan.
So she just did it to do it.
So you didn't solve any problems. You just solved one problem by creating another problem.
She was found to have owned the same make and model of the gun that was used to kill her husband. Although police never found the weapon, they did know that she owned the weapon. So, I mean...
So she thought she got rid of it and thought there was no way to trace it back to her, but she was wrong.
Sorry, they keep track of when you buy guns.
Wrong.
Right? There's a database for that.
That one was one that really stood out to me because it's all right, so you're basically giving everyone...
You see this, Nate? It says prosecutors claim that she swapped out the barrel of the gun used in the shooting and then discarded the barrel. So it's no wonder they couldn't find the gun. She tore it apart.
Well, I mean, when you write a book on how to kill your husband and get away with it...
Hey, the book
I wonder if that was in the book.
Caught.
If that's in the book, man.
She had some things right.
Couldn't get away.
Couldn't get away with it.
Reading Chapter 12, Exchanging the Barrel on Your Gun.
Oh, my God.
All right, so we're almost done here. I want to thank you once again for coming on with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
We've got a couple guests lined up this week. Keep tuning in to find out who we've got coming up because we've got the podcast coming up tonight.
Yep.
The Pulse podcast live in studio right around 8 o'clock. Make sure you tune in right here on Heart of Ohio Sports. And then tune in the rest of this week to find out where we're going to be on Thursday at 2 o'clock. Yeah, that's right. I haven't revealed it yet. We still got a little bit of time in between now and then, so you're just going to have to find out because we can't be both places at once. But we're going to try our best to cover both schools the best way we can possible anyway. So once again, thanks for tuning in here on Mullin It Over. This has been episode 46. Make sure if you're watching this and you've made it to this portion of the video and you haven't done so already, please share the video. It takes 2 clicks, 2 seconds, and it helps us so much more than what you realize. I know you're sitting there thinking, I don't want this on my profile. I don't want this on my page. Please help us out. Share it with your friends. There are people out there that might see this that didn't know it existed, and now you have helped us bring what we have into their lives. So
Exactly.
thank you. And once again, please share the video, like, follow, subscribe. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure you give us a follow, folks. Thanks again, Joey. Appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thanks to Greg Kinn, our producer and
The
wizard extraordinaire. Thanks to all of you for tuning in. Catch us next time tomorrow right here on Mullin It Over. And until then, signing off. Have a great day, everybody.